Morning, everybody, and welcome to the November 28th, 2023 meeting of Henderson County Fiscal Court. We are glad you're with us, and for those watching online, we are glad you're with us as well. We will begin as we always do with an invocation, and Pastor Joe Cox from Cairo Methodist Church is with us. Please stand.
Would you pray with me? Heavenly Father, we are so thankful for the grace and mercy that you have for us, for the unconditional love that you have for us, Lord. And as we gather here this morning, I just ask that you would bless everyone in this room and the families that are represented in this room. Lord, I pray that you would just guide our hearts and minds in this time, and that you would unfold your plan for this community to us and help us see the best way to enact your plan in this community. Lord, we love you and we praise your name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. Mr. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Manager Southard.
Here.
Manager Tompkins.
Here.
Manager Putman.
Here.
Manager Starks.
Here.
Manager Berry.
Here.
Gentlemen, you have before you the minutes of the November 14th Fiscal Court meeting. After a period of review, I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other corrections, additions, or clarifications? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we've got a good agenda today, and right off the bat, I'll apologize to everybody for my voice. Been a little under the weather, so thanks for your patience on that. But it is Judges Scholar Day, and we have Ryan Lynn, who is the Judges Scholar from East Heights Elementary School this year. We are very proud of him, and Ryan, I'll ask you to join me right here in front of the podium.
Whereas Ryan Lynn has been chosen by East Heights Elementary School to be recipient of the Judges Scholar Award for exceptional efforts in both academics and school activities, and whereas Ryan's hard work and dedication in making the most of educational experiences and developing positive relationships with teachers and other students will lead to future success, and whereas success is measured in many different ways, whether it be passing a test, scoring the winning point, achieving a particular goal, or taking the necessary steps for overall improvement, and whereas the Henderson County school system could not let Ryan's efforts go unnoticed, and whereas the Henderson County Fiscal Court supports the school system and acknowledges these accomplishments as being significant because students such as Ryan Lynn will be our future leaders. And now, therefore, I, Brad Schneider, County Judge Executive of Henderson, join with the Henderson County Fiscal Court to proclaim today, November 28th, 2023, as Ryan Lynn Day here in Henderson County.
congratulations. I know your parents and family are proud, and the school's very proud, right? Now you get to hang out with us and ride shotgun for a little bit here, where we get into the really boring stuff, but apologies to anybody who's got anything on the agenda. It's not. But congratulations. We have a proclamation for Diabetes Awareness Month. Karen Hill, is Karen Hill with us? Oh, there she is. I'm sorry I didn't see you back there, Karen. Anything you'd like to add to this proclamation?
I left each one of you a copy of the 2023 Kentucky Diabetes Report. It's very eye-opening if you want to look at the statistics for Kentucky. And the only other thing I'd like to add is that 2 weeks ago today, the Henderson County Diabetes Coalition had a free hemoglobin A1C screening to check people to see if they had prediabetes or diabetes. And we try to do that twice a year. And we screened 91 people from 7 o'clock to 3 o'clock that afternoon. So it was a very, very good, it was the most we've ever done in one day. So.
Screening helps people ward it off.
It helps identify if they have prediabetes, and then if they do have prediabetes, we talk to them and educate them that day. And then we're always available. We're going to be offering classes and everything, so we're always available to help.
Am I right in saying that diabetes is one of the most prominent diseases in Kentucky that end lives prematurely?
It is. It is. None of Kentucky is very good. It's really bad in eastern Kentucky. When you look at the counties and the numbers, it's really bad. But the whole state is up there, is in the top 10, unfortunately. Not something we want to be in the top 10 for, but.
Right. You know, Karen, and the Henderson County Health Department has a great diabetes program for those, because those drugs are very expensive.
Exactly.
And people that are diagnosed with it, if they can go there and they can be helped.
The community access project
Great.
is wonderful.
Yeah.
We had the Henderson County Diabetes Coalition has a patient assistance program for emergencies. If they're discharged from the hospital and they don't have insulin, we send them to TNT and we run them through our program. And then if we help them through TNT, they're automatically referred to Marcella at the Community Access Project. And I can't tell you how many times I got a phone call the other day from John Marshall, and we're like, just help them. You know,
Yeah.
you help them and then send them on over there, and Marcella will help them. And they were Hispanic, and so we knew Marcella was bilingual.
Yeah.
So it's a great, great program.
Yeah. And John's a great guy.
Oh, yeah, he's the president of our coalition, has been forever. So,
Diabetes Coalition does good work.
thank you. We try.
We're going to read a proclamation in honor of Diabetes Awareness Month.
Whereas 37.3 million Americans are estimated to have diabetes, diagnosed and undiagnosed, including nearly 486,196 Kentuckians, which is 13.8% of the population, reporting they have diabetes, making Kentucky the 7th highest in the United States for prevalence of diabetes, a serious disease that has no cure and can be associated with complications that threaten both length and quality of life. And whereas nearly an additional 101,000 adult Kentuckians are estimated to be living with undiagnosed diabetes, and 1,168,000 people in Kentucky, which is 33.8% of the adult population, who have prediabetes with blood glucose levels that are higher than normal but not yet high enough to be diagnosed as diabetes. Every year, an additional 26,623 people in Kentucky are diagnosed with diabetes. Whereas diabetes is the 7th leading cause of death by disease in Kentucky and in the nation, Kentucky has the 13th highest diabetes mortality rate in the nation. And diabetes can be associated with complications that threaten both length and quality of life, such as blindness, heart disease, kidney failure, stroke, and leg or foot amputations. And whereas diabetes costs Kentucky over $5 billion in total medical expenditures, lost work, and lost wages each year. And whereas an increase in community awareness of risk factors and symptoms related to prediabetes and diabetes, as well as evidence-based interventions that can improve outcomes and quality of life among those with and at risk for diabetes, can increase the likelihood that it will seek out education, support, and treatment early in the course of the disease. And whereas structured lifestyle change programs such as National Diabetes Prevention Program have been proven to prevent or delay type 2 diabetes in adults with prediabetes, and accredited recognized diabetes self-management, education, and support programs that support appropriate self-care and behavior change strategies critical to managing diabetes have been shown to improve diabetes outcomes. Now therefore, I, Brad Schneider, County Judge Executive of Henderson, do hereby proclaim November 2023 as Diabetes Awareness Month in Henderson County, and urge all citizens to help fight this disease and life-threatening complications by increasing awareness of the risk factors for diabetes, making healthy lifestyle choices, and by providing care and treatment for those living with diabetes.
Thank you. Karen, we'll give this to you. Again, we appreciate all you do.
Karen, I was just going to ask real quick. Hey, Karen, will there be another A1C testing coming up in the spring sometime?
In March. We usually do it on Diabetes Alert Day, which is usually either the fourth or the last Tuesday in March. And then we try to always do one in November. So, and we always advertise on the radio.
Well, that's good too. I would have been 92, but I didn't make it by that day. So, but I really appreciate your faithfulness. You've done this for how many years?
Oh, gosh. We had to stop for COVID, and then when we started back after COVID, we had to do it a different way to be safe. And actually, the different way turned out to be the best way. We took appointments, but we left a lot of walk-in appointments. And the first time we did that, we're like, why did we wait so long to do it this way? Because it flowed so much better. I know we've done it for 10 years, maybe longer than that. So, and when the Deaconess Prevention and Wellness Services quit doing it, when they closed that, the Diabetes Coalition took it on and said, we'll figure out a way. So we got grants and everything else, because it's not cheap to put that on. It cost us over probably $1,200 to do that. And that's with partnering with Deaconess to provide the machines to do it. So, but we've kind of made that our quest. We're going to, as long as we've got money and as long as we've got volunteers to do it, we're going to keep on doing it because we feel very strongly in that.
It's very important. Thank you.
Yes.
Could you give your contact information so if anybody needs to get a hold of you?
Sure. Do you want me to just send it? It's Karen.Hill at GRDHD, Green River District Health Department.org. I have to get the initials right.
Karen.Hill at
GRDHD.
.org.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Next, we have a request from the Holloway Hills Homeowners Association about a cul-de-sac in their subdivision. And is Paula Garrett with us? You provided us a nice packet of information and photos, but we'll let you add some comments, please.
Well, we want to thank you all for allowing us to be here today. I'm Hannah Hudson. This is Paula Garrett and Stuart Brook. We're the Homeowners Association members and the officers of the association. We've got PowerPoint, and you all may have already seen some of the pictures. We have an issue in the back on Shady Hollow where we think should not have ever been done, but it was and should have been taken care of a long time ago. We should have looked at this sooner. But you can see as you're coming in to the cul-de-sac, when it was put in, and you all jump in at any time, when the area was put in, the tree and the gravel and the other area was put in there, it causes a lot of problems for any big, like trucks, vans, any kind of trailers and things that are coming through. But most importantly, we have concerns about buses not being able to turn around down there, and also for emergency vehicles to be able to get through. They only have two ways to go at this point. They can either veer off way to the right, which if they try to go around to the right, that causes problems where we've had right around where the edging is there is being torn up, and also you can see that we have mailboxes that have been taken out during that time. We have, which they've had to replace theirs a couple of times or fix them. And also landscaping that has also If they don't go off and try to veer to the right to avoid this area, you can see in the second picture there where they end up driving up into it. So we feel like that, we would like to have this taken out. We know and we realize that we own that part as the association, that it is part of Holloway Hills with the trees and all the landscaping and things. So we're here today just to ask you all, we would like to be able to partner with you all to help us get this taken care of. I know Paula has gotten several estimates. If we have this all done on our own and what those estimates would be, and we truly can't do that. So we would like to propose that if we as the association would take the tree down, get all the rock out. You can see that we actually have some brick pavers that are in there as well that were put in from the very beginning. Those are way down into the ground now where trucks and things have run over those. But we would like to take those out as well. And then we wanted to see if you all would be willing to come back in and take the root, the stump and the root out for us, and then take the outside part, the edging away from it, and then be ready to put that back in. We did also get an estimate as to what it would probably cost, and I'm sure it's in your packet as well. We're hoping that estimate is high, but we got an estimate for the fill-in of the rock and the asphalt to get it prepared. Oh.
I was trying to do the last thing and I just went.
But we did get that estimate to see what it would be to fill that back in. As again, we understand that, this was a property that the association owns because of those things being there. So we just wanted to see if you all might be willing to work with us. We also had some pictures in there of a lot of our roads in the neighborhood right now. We've been in the association in the neighborhood has been there a little over 30 years. And we have some places where the roads are getting, they're beginning to crack, they're aggregated. We have some hills and things, some humps in different places that are coming up. We know that we're asking for a lot. We would love to, at some point, to be able to have the neighborhood repaved. But the most important thing that we're looking at right now is having that tree taken down and having you all maybe partner with us to help take care of that. You all want to add anything in?
I live at the end of that cul-de-sac, and from what we've been told is the rules were it was supposed to be 90 feet wide when they built it. And so it looks like whoever developed that property probably tried to save a little money by doing it this way. They should have paved the whole thing initially, but they didn't, and now we're stuck with this problem. It's a safety issue as far as big trucks. I see them every day coming around there. And then if anybody tries to park down there to do any work, they can't get around. People stop, they drive through the gravel. It's a hazard, there's no doubt about it. And then there's other places in the subdivision too that are needing some attention. And from what we've been told with paving, it doesn't get better with time. If you delay that a couple of years or you do something like that, it's not going to fix itself. So we thought, we could get this done along with some other things. That would be great.
Anything else?
That's basically it.
I'd like to ask Nick Stallings to come on up, please, if you don't mind. Because I got a couple questions that are important.
Right.
I've learned that at the country club,
Uh-huh.
it's number one.
Right.
Back then, codes have changed now, but back then, they just kind of got away with those things and did the thing. And you're right about that. They don't do it like that anymore.
Right.
A couple things right off the bat. Paving on roads, we use a kind of a multifaceted formula to rank our roads, base our paving schedules based on that ranking from worst to best. And so the subdivision will fall in how it falls in that matrix, so you be patient on that.
Right.
As far as this island in the cul-de-sac. Nick, is it true that we don't own it? Do you know?
The way it is that we maintain it all now.
Can you speak into the mic?
The way it's set up is now that that's part of what we've taken in, or the court has taken in years ago, and they've taken in as part of the infrastructure. We'll maintain, curb to curb. Now
Curb
the
to curb.
cul-de-sac's part of it. So as far as the maintenance, that's part of what we do now.
So is it technically we can't use county equipment on private ground. But if we have control over this, and you agree that it's a safety hazard, can't we just do this ourselves?
Well, see, that's what we'll, I'll get back and look through and find out. I pulled what I can, knowing about this. I haven't had enough time to do the research into it to find out. But what I can do is I can pull our records, I can pull our plats of this subdivision as it was taken in by the planning commission and as it was voted in by the court to find out how much that we've taken through, to make sure it's part of our infrastructure.
Yeah.
And if it is, then that's what I can talk with the court, find out what we want to take on ourselves. Obviously, if it's our road, we want to do the work ourselves.
Right.
And then it'll just be as a court, deciding on, is this something that we want to venture into, to replacing, making pavement, making area that we want to maintain, or what. So
Yeah, for $9,000 to $10,000, gentlemen, if this is ours, we need to do it ourselves. And if you agree that it is a safety hazard.
yeah, I mean, we'll have material cost and man hours, involved in digging it up and removing it. But again, let I need a little bit of time to look and find out. The paving plants are closed for the year anyway, so
Right.
we're out of that window to get on the paving cycle this year. So
Let me explain that a little bit. We buy asphalt from third parties, and they only produce asphalt certain times of the year. We typically get it in the spring and fall because asphalt requires certain temperature ranges to be effective. And we're out of that window right now. So repaving this would probably have to wait till the spring
yes.
at the earliest. It's been there 30 years, so I'm sure you could put up with it.
The other two are not that wide.
Yeah. So, if you don't mind, let Nick research this a little bit. The end result could be that we just do it and you don't have to pay. If this is our responsibility, and we all agree that this is a safety hazard that needs to be fixed, then we need to fix it. So, I will tell you, stay tuned, and we'll.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll do the research, bring it back to you all, and then have y'all make that decision, determine, if this is something that we want to do. Obviously, we need to go back and find out how this was constructed.
Yeah.
If this was something that was put in, wanted to be by the subdivision itself, by the developer, for beautification, or if this was, how it was put in.
Right.
So that way we're not taking something out or opening up a can of worms for other subdivisions out there who says, I don't want this, or I don't want that.
Right.
So that's what I'll do. All I'll do is I'll go back, find out when this was taken in, how this was phased in for this subdivision was more likely developed in phases, and it was accepted by the court through planning commission in phases. I'll find out how that was done, when this was done, and then I'll bring it back to you all, and you all make the decision on saying, hey, this remove it, let's do 100%, let's do a cost share, let's do whatever. So I'll make that you all's call. So that way we can set a policy, for the other subdivisions out there that may want the same scenario, because there's others that have cul-de-sacs that have beautification in them, that they may not want anymore. So this would be a forward step, business from here on.
Right.
So either way, well, I'm good with y'all decision, so let me do the homework, and then I'll bring it back to you all.
Nick, I'd just like to clarify, is this particular cul-de-sac, it is a county road?
Oh, yes.
It is not
yes.
part of a
Nope.
PUD?
Nope.
road, okay.
This is all, yeah, this whole subdivision is county maintained, county road, county everything, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So even though there's owners association, this is not owned by the PUD?
Yes.
The dot in the middle of the cul-de-sac
That
is,
is
but,
what I've got,
okay.
that's
I got
homework I've got to do to determine that they have not superseded, and said, this is ours, kind of like they do, it's kind of like they did with the state when we had sort of, intersections and, site triangles, that kind of thing that people would put in. They would have a permit, they'll go out there and make this area beautification, put shrubs up or whatever, and then they would have a length of time to do that work. So, I'll check this and make sure it's done the same way.
Another question. You said curb to curb. Is there an easement we have beyond that?
Yes. We have a right of way out there that we do maintain. They're different for different subdivisions. Some we maintain just the curb. Some we maintain, 20 feet beyond the curb. Some we maintain 10 feet beyond the curb. It's whatever the plat said that was signed when the plan commission accepted it, that the county, that the fiscal court at that point in time accepted. So they all change as their codes change, and as are what you all taking in. So this would have been, she was saying 30 years ago. So
Right.
we're looking back in the 90s when this was taken in the case. We'll look at whatever that plat was that was signed by planning commission. Pull the court minutes and saying, did we accept it as a plat?
Right.
Stood signed, and if it did, it always has a right of way. It has a distance from the edge of either from center line or from back of curb that we own as a right of way. And that right of way, then we maintain, the infrastructure, the curbs, the sidewalks, mowing. But most of them, they'll mow theirs daily or weekly, to keep it, because our mowing schedule isn't usually facet to what they like.
One more question of Steve. If we determine this is a safety hazard, can we condemn it, take it, and fix it?
Condemnation is a very long and complicated process. I think doing it, declaring it a safety hazard would require probably getting with the MPO, getting with different, I guess, sheriff's department, see how many wrecks they've worked there, things like that. No, I think just deeming it to be a safety hazard without any actual evidence could be difficult when it comes to condemnation in
I'd
a
say
court.
the fastest way to get this done is just to determine how far the right-of-way is. Do we own it? Do we not?
Exactly.
And then what the total cost is gonna be, and we'll make our decision based on those facts, because right now it's conjecture, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean.
I'd say maybe a letter from the transportation department of the school district might help as well.
Maybe, we'll see if we get
Yeah.
to that point, but I'm just
Let's just figure out what we got.
asking questions about
Right, yeah.
options, so.
Are,
When we watch, like, when the buses do come through, and I'd be willing to go out and get something if we needed to. They usually don't, they can't go down and actually go around and turn there. They usually go up, they'll be able to make it to, they'll go to Tupelo Court, and they have to back in at Tupelo, which is the second street in. They have to back in to be able to turn around, they never go down and go all the way around the cul-de-sac.
There's no doubt that the turning radius there is not designed for anything other than a passenger car. I mean, that's not up for debate.
And we got big
It's just
trucks
how
and
we move
trailers.
forward from here.
You can see the trailers there, and then they conflict with other vehicles. If you have a neighbor that tries to park in front of his house, you can't even park in front of your house.
That's right.
Um,
Okay.
It's a safety.
and Judge, to your condemnation question, if it is determined that the county doesn't have a right to it, and it is owned jointly by the homeowners association, it sounds like we wouldn't have to do a condemnation, we'd be able to get them to sign an agreement allowing us to do it, not go through the condemnation
That would,
process.
well, that would allow
I
us
think we can work that
to,
part out.
that would allow us to go on private property and fix this?
If the fiscal court were to seek a a deed from the homeowners association of that and would then become the owners of that, or a dedicated public right-of-way or something along those lines. There are absolutely ways that it could be done by agreement, if that is the will of the court. As Nick mentioned, we would be setting a precedent here for a whole lot of things like
Right.
this, so that's something the court would have to consider, but that's certainly within the discretion of the court.
Yep. I just like being prepared, you know, having things in my hand that says, this is what we taken in, this is how we taken it in, and then that way I don't have to guess, because,
Yeah.
you know, I don't have any peers to throw things off of, so,
Yeah.
this is, you know, you've all put this in my court. I would like to be prepared to saying, hey, this is what we have, then you all can make a decision.
This is an example of how things handled in government are never simple. So, just the way it is. We have restrictions. So, Nick's going to do some research and come back to us. We'll keep you informed. I think we have your contact info. Okay. Thank
Don't-
you.
Don't cut the tree down.
Yeah.
Don't cut the tree down. It's easier to remove a tree that's taller. You get a stump, then you have to dig it out. Tall tree, you can just push it over.
Yeah. You got the right guy on the job. He'll get it researched pretty quickly.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. The Surface Mine Committee met earlier this morning, and they have a recommendation over the next item in your packet. And this is you want to summarize the recommendation, Nick?
Yes, we met this morning, and we've taken the recommendation to go ahead and release these bonds. The work that was, you know, they had on their release to do, they did satisfy those requirements. Most of the land out there, you know, is in good workable condition as the way it was before the mines came through. You know, minus the tall trees, that kind of thing, but that just takes time. They definitely suffice what they need to do to release these bonds. So it was the committee recommendation to go ahead and release these bonds.
Any other comments from members of the Surface Mine Committee? So you have the listing of these bonds before you, and they are permit number HC 851-0051, increments 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, and 9, a total of $1,060,950 in bonds. You have the recommendation from the Service Mine Committee to release these, and I'll entertain a motion to that effect.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll also note that the Service Mine Committee has recommended that we have a meeting of some of the principals with the bonding company and Mike Monday, who is their consultant, to continue to work on having bonding monies help fix Mason Landing Road and even possibly Conaway Road, but Mason Landing and Lee a priority at this point, and we'll be reporting back to the court on that meeting soon.
Yeah, just so I can put it, you know, further, Mesa Landing was not skipped. It wasn't forgotten about. It just wasn't the set of the first 4 intersections we did along Bluff City Road and then and on Cheney Road. Those were the first ones we did. Next is Mason Landing. So that's what we're working with this next meeting to have, so we can set a time frame when we get those done, along with possibly Conway Road. So those are still on the schedule to be done and fixed.
Thank you very much, Nick. Don't sit down too heavily. We'll be right back with you here. You had in your packets Planning Commission recommendation case number 1156, a rezoning in the county for a battery storage farm. Without any questions, we will move on to the next item. We are going to table the resolution on the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, this flood mitigation grant to do a study on basically Elam Ditch and how to keep floodwaters off Airline Road is still has yet to be finished, and we understand from grad staff that they will continue to work to bring it to the grant application to the fill in all the blanks, get it ready to go, and then bring it back to us. So,
Judge, do you want a motion to table that?
sure.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have three resolutions to read on 3 roads in the county that are being discontinued or accepted, and 2 of these items are based on the construction out in their airport. And then if you remember, Nick Stallings briefed us on Clay Cemetery Road last meeting. So, Nick, if you don't mind coming up, we'll do these one at a time, and we'll start off with Trigg Turner. If you want to remind everybody the situation there.
All right, this is the end of the road, hopefully the road changes that happened with the airport job that they got to extend the runways. As you can see, the runway on your right in that picture, if it get extended, the county road, Trigg Turner would have been in the way, as was according to Geneva, to be it within the right of way that the runway needed. So they also got money for a project through FAA to move these roads. That's why they were done through the federal grant to get moved. Trigg Turner, up on the top right, is now called Geneva Place. That was done last court we had, and then now the section between Geneva Place and Court Geneva Road, where it ties in with Trigg Turner, that part of Trigg Turner is essentially, hopefully, if y'all approve it, will be gone away from discontinued maintenance and no longer county property. You all had voted on for Bill Hubiak and Neil Risley and myself to go out there and look at the area. Right now, it's just a dirt path. They all agree, which they had I wrote up what they said as far as, it's no longer a county road. They signed it. It's ready to go to be removed as county property. So there, that's what we found while we were out on site, that it's definitely no longer a county road. There's not pavement in there. There's not rock in there. It's just a dirt path. So that's the first order of business.
So let's take care of that one real quick.
Yep.
We'll read a resolution.
Resolution approving a portion of Trigg Turner Road to be discontinued from county maintenance and removed from the county road system. Whereas Trigg Turner Road was approved for alteration due to the expansion of the Henderson City County Airport and divided in 2. Whereas Trigg Turner Road now ends where it intersects with Corden Geneva Road, and the ring stir located off of Route 136 West has officially been renamed Geneva Place. Whereas the county engineer properly advertised and posted the road to be discontinued per KRS 178.070, and the fiscal court assigned viewers to make their recommendation to the court. Whereas the county engineers and viewers' recommendation that the portion of the road between Corden Geneva Road and Geneva Place serves no public purpose and should be discontinued from county maintenance and returned to landowners. Now therefore be resolved by the County of Henderson, Kentucky, that the recommendation of the county engineer is accepted, and Trigg Turner Road will be discontinued from county maintenance between Corden and Geneva Road and Geneva Place. The closed portion will be removed from the Henderson County road system, and all signage mapping will be updated to reflect the changed length of Trigg Turner Road to 3.728 miles.
Get a motion to approve that.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions on that change? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ryan, you hanging in there? All right. Next, Clay Cemetery Road.
Okay, Clay Cemetery, that you see up there on that line, a lot of this, most of this property is owned by a single property owner. There is a cemetery there at 3118, at the parcel number 31-18, that will still remain part of county maintenance. The road itself will, so that way, people can visit that cemetery. Where it shows red on the map, that is a portion that we're looking to discontinue maintenance of county. That serves one property owner, one farmer. He came to us with a request years and years ago. He gets a lot of traffic for extracurricular activities back along that property that he'd like to possibly keep from happening. He would like for the road to go back a lot farther, being discontinued, but we stopped it there. That way, it would allow people to visit the cemetery and remain open for the public. So this was the portion that we could close, discontinue maintenance, so that way he can better protect his property per se, and it no longer serves the public. Nobody's going back there for good intentions, other than the farmer and the agricultural consumption. So what we did was we had, again, the same 3 viewers, went out there, looked, and definitely that's a portion that we can take off of county maintenance. So if you all do agree, then that would be another portion that we could remove, which he's got a resolution again.
Read the resolution.
Resolution approving a portion of Clay Cemetery Road, County Road 1313, be discontinued from the county maintenance and removed from the county road system. Whereas the Henderson County Engineer Nick Stallings recommends that the Fiscal Court of Henderson County discontinue a portion of Clay Cemetery Road and remove that portion from Henderson County road system. And whereas Clay Cemetery Road, local property owners stated the road served no public purpose past this Clay Cemetery and petitioned the county to discontinue the road past this point. And whereas the county engineer properly advertised and posted the road to be discontinued per KRS 178.070, and the Fiscal Court assigned viewers to make the recommendation to the court. Whereas it is the county engineers and the viewers' recommendations that the road serves no public purpose past Clay Cemetery, and the road should be discontinued from county maintenance at a point 1.03 miles from a starting point at Kentucky 136. Now therefore be resolved by the County of Henderson, Kentucky, that the recommendation of the county engineer is accepted, and Clay Cemetery Road, CR 1313, will be discontinued from county maintenance at a point 1.03 miles from where the road begins at Kentucky 136. The closed portion will be removed from the Henderson County road system, and all signage and mapping will be updated to reflect the changed length to 1.03 miles.
Get a motion to approve that one.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other questions?
Nick, on there you've got the 22.12 goes back to a barn, actually it's a clubhouse back there at the end of that red line. Is that who requested the road shut off?
Yes, that's where it was first requested, yes.
Okay. I was just making sure we didn't skip a property over there.
No.
So Nick, why did we stop it there? Would it be not beneficial to go further back? Or no? I just question.
Oh, you mean farther towards the curve?
We stopped the county maintenance at the end of the red line there, right? And then
No, we're county
missed something.
County maintenance is from here, from 136 on up around, and we're stopping.
Okay, that's, I thought I was confused on
But we
that.
gotta stop it here.
Yes.
Because there's an active cemetery here.
Yes, I had it, I was looking at it backwards. I wasn't sure. I just want to be clear. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Will there be a gate, I guess, or how will that be denoted to the public that that's no longer?
Yes, there will be a gate, yes.
Which the landowner will put up, not us.
Yes, landowner.
Yep, the county can put a end of county maintenance sign or something like that.
Yeah, because there was documents that this was started back in 2020, 2019, 2020, where the viewers were named to get it started, but it was never sought out. There's an actual agreement that was written from the property owner to the county as far as the access, the maintain access, and access agreement and ingress, which is all that we have at the road department.
Okay, so I have one more question. Are we required to, as a county, to provide any type of turnaround since it's a dead end in the middle of the road?
Well, the way I did was we stopped it right there at a turnaround there at those trees. There is an entrance, like an old entrance that we can use, that people can utilize as a turnaround.
All right.
So it's like that on a lot of our roads.
Yep.
You know, Green River Road, number 1, number 2, Ohio River 1 and 2, a lot of those, the same deal. They just stop at a post.
Yep.
And then, you know, people's got to find their ways to get turned around.
Gotcha.
So, yes.
And we will put a no outlet sign up.
Yes, we'll have a no outlet sign there on 136. There should already be one because there is a no outlet. And then there would be in the county maintenance that we will put up.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? One final one, also related to the airport construction, is Court and Geneva Road. Nick?
Okay, my map guy's back there working on the map, but this is Court and Geneva Road actually got extended by 0.92 miles. This was to be able to bring access back to Kentucky 136 since Trigg Turner ended. What they did was they made the curve there at the airport, you know, a better radius, tied in with a Trigg Turner, and then made a loop around the property that the airport owns on Kentucky 136. This road's the best county road out there. It was built to federal highway standards, which is you know, we got crazy amount of right of way. We've got a striped road. We've got big shoulders. We've got new pavement. We've got super elevated curves. That by far the best 0.92 miles of a county roadway system. So there's my no doubt this should be a county road.
Brent, why don't you just go back to the previous Trigg Turner road map? It shows it.
There we go.
Everybody see the Court and Geneva Road.
So see that is from so as you can see down in the bottom right hand corner, that's where the new alignment of Court Geneva took over, and then it picked up Trigg Turner now dead ends into Court and Geneva, and then Court and Geneva now goes all the way out to Kentucky 136 right past the church. They're on Kentucky 136, so it moves down or upstate, you know, upstation, you know, about a half a mile, but it intersects in with Kentucky 136. So that's that new portion from down there on the bottom right. We're looking to take that portion all the way up to Kentucky 136 and put it back into county road maintenance.
We have a resolution to accept that new alignment into our county road system.
Resolution approving maintenance of and apparent acceptance of the altered Cordon Geneva Road, CR 1343, into the county road system. Whereas Henderson County Engineer Nick Stallings recommends that Fiscal Court of Henderson County maintain and accept the altered Cordon Geneva Road into the Henderson County road system, and whereas Cordon Geneva Road previously terminated at Trigg Turner Road, and whereas Cordon Geneva Road has been altered and extended another 0.92 miles for a total of 3.92 miles, and now intersects with State Highway 136 West at approximately the 16.1 mile post. Whereas the county engineer has examined the new extension of the road and meets all requirements of Henderson County to be accepted into the county road system. Now therefore be it resolved by the County of Henderson, Kentucky, that the recommendation of the county judge executive and the county engineer is accepted, and Geneva Place Cordon Geneva is hereby added to the county road system, and all signage and mapping will be updated to reflect the change.
Get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
Next, we have the annual oil tax rebills and oil tax settlement to approve. Thank you for Sheriff Stopper's work on this. I need a motion to approve these rebills.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions on that?
We're zeroed out.
Good deal. And
That's always good to hear.
you have not received your, or undergone your audit yet, right?
Correct.
So that'll be coming up, and I'm absolutely certain that the audit will come up absolutely perfect. I think the last couple of years, the sheriff's office has come within pennies of being completely balanced, which is awesome, considering how many millions of dollars flow through the office during tax season, so.
And the crazy thing is part of that's the software, because that, you know, the software rounds up or rounds down. And so at the end of the day, I mean, we're always zeroed, but at the end of the day, when they do electronic things, sometimes there's half a cent off. And I was like, okay, we'll cut a penny.
Well, but I also wish you good luck in going through your first state audit. It's always fun. So.
I have a good group. They'll protect me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Sheriff. Hey, while you're up here, Chip, anything else to report from your sheriff's office? Anything going on?
No, had a good holiday weekend.
Quiet?
Quiet.
It's always good.
Yes. Yes, it's always.
Yeah.
So.
I did pretty bad wreck on the 41 North yesterday. Did y'all work that?
No, we did not work that.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
thank you. You have in your packet your animal control reports. Stacy McCord Crooks is not with us this morning, but as you see in Kurt's notes, they are going to hire a new executive director, Melinda Whitlock, fairly quickly, and also I'll be swearing in a new animal control officer this afternoon. The mayor and I attended a Humane Society board meeting a couple weeks ago to reiterate what we need from the Humane Society to properly run animal control. They've had a lot of turnover, both on the board and at the Humane Society and in their animal control officer corps. So I think the city is satisfied at the moment enough to release their funding of animal control through at least February to give Humane Society time to show that they understand what they need to do to fulfill the contracts that they have. And so we wish them the very best, and we're going to keep close track of how they're doing. And hiring a new executive director was job one in that meeting, and apparently that is happening. So at the next fiscal court meeting, I look forward to Stacy McCord Crooks coming up, introducing Melinda Whitlock, and seeing what their plan is to move forward.
Judge, just to add, I understand they're completely out of cat food down there, so anybody feels compelled that today is the day of giving. If you feel compelled to go pick up some cat food, maybe drop it off, they'd surely appreciate it.
Next, the detention center report from Jailer Bruce Todd. Good to see you, Jailer Todd.
Morning.
Morning.
Well, everything is, of course, it change any minute, going well. We have 180 federal inmates.
Wow.
135 state, and 140 county inmates as of yesterday. I hadn't received a report today, but. Huh? It's been like that for a while. I mean, last year, I guess, it was lower, but it's been in the 100 something. Yeah, it's high.
Seems like a really solid improvement on federal inmates, though.
Yes, sir, it was in the 80s and 90s, I think.
Yes, sir, that's excellent. We
180
appreciate your
now.
hard
We're
work.
looking for around 200 probably,
Right.
We're at full capacity down there, right, Jailer Todd?
pretty much. We were notified from a group from Washington DC about increasing our federal inmates per diem. I mean, we are looking at that already, and I think we'll entertain it, we'll look at it. Steve Gold and I had a discussion on it, but I believe we can just do it on our own. I think it would cost us about 100,000, best I can calculate.
Potential revenue, though?
Yeah, potential new revenue, which we were already looking at increasing it.
Jailer was approached by someone who, for a pretty healthy cut,
Yeah.
seeks to renegotiate those federal contracts. And so I believe Jailer Todd met with that individual, had some discussions.
You can renegotiate federal contracts?
Well, they're every 2 years. I
Every
believe.
2 years. I guess the last time we did it, it's been years since we did one.
Okay.
But they've done one, and we're at 62. They would like for us to go to 75. But
Yeah.
I've contacted two or three jailers that went through the process, and
Nothing happened?
I didn't. Well, they did go through it, but I think they ended up doing most of the legwork themselves. So we'll see. We'll look at it, but it would be good. We're going to look at what it cost when we increased last time, the food cost, transport costs, fuel costs, and all that, and we'll look at what the cost is today, and we'll look at increasing.
I got to commend you.
It's a long process. I think Laurie said it took like 3 or 4 months, but we're going to start on it.
I was going to note to the court that to date, the jails received $3.3 million in revenue and spent $3.22 million in revenue. So you are in the black, which is great. And of course, we don't depend on our jail to be a huge revenue generator, but as we hear at CAECO every year, and I'm sure you know, counties across the state, especially smaller counties, struggle to keep their jails open. And when they have to send their county inmates to other places, it becomes a pure cost on the county budget. By creating this mix of paying customers, for want of a better term, we are able to keep our jail local and not be a drain on the general fund. So keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Thank you.
All right. Any questions?
Good. I assume hiring is, I know it's always a struggle, but.
Well, you know, we are better this year than we were last year, so. Yeah.
Good deal.
Again, good job.
When one leaves, we try to contact them and see why they left, and
Yeah.
try to improve on that, and some of them's come back, and
Well, I can tell you on a couple of visits down there, the culture overall is very positive, both clientele and workers. So I was impressed. I was really pleasantly surprised, so.
we got a good staff.
Yeah, agreed.
Said.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you.
We have Renice Abner's report. She's not with us today, but we do have her fee payments. You want to read those?
Clerks are at a clerk conference, and one of the clerks that was supposed to come up and present this today is feeling under the weather also. So amount that she brought into the county this month was $160,646.64. I did have a check turned over to me this morning for $113,160.53 for excess fees for the month.
Motion to accept those.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Gold, your report.
All right, Judge, I've got several checks today. Interest in the amount of $40.37, health insurance $10,136, and $920. Aflac, $120.10, dental and life, $491.59, and $39.99. And flow through from the city, $458.33, bringing today's total to $12,206.38, and the fiscal year total to $85,987.10. And Ryan tells me he's never had $12,206 in his hands before, so just like when you're an adult, you're going to get it in one hand and then pass it to the government.
I only had 1/6%.
He's had a sixth of that before, he said. All right. Good deal. Quick math and
Yeah, I was
fractions, by the way. That's
impressed with
impressive.
I'm impressed that he figured out 1/6 that quickly. Thank you, Mr. Gold. Thank you, Ryan. Next, Treasurer Brenda Ryder.
There are no transfers for today. You have received your bank balances, which are after paying claims today, and your day-to-day appropriation should be at approximately 41%. I do have additional claims. From the general fund to Brent Jacobs, $890.79. This is for reimbursement for IT replacements and upgrades, and is to come from the courthouse renewals and replacements and IT services appropriation lines. From the road fund to Tim Hatfield, $1,210. This is for a culvert pipe permit refund, which was deemed not necessary after it was paid for. From the jail fund to Hargis Collision, $2,841. This is for vehicle repair and is to come from the motor vehicles appropriation line.
Move to pay the claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions about claims? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I will note that the general fund expenses are at 38.6% under our spending percentage target to date. I believe the other departments are either on budget or below too, so thanks to all the elected officials and department heads for holding the line there. Appreciate that. Some other items, Brenda?
That's it.
Any other questions of Brenda? Thank you. While Brenda goes back to her seat, you did notice that we had our first large influx of property taxes. I always enjoy getting to this time of the year where that money comes in and makes me feel a little better about the whole thing. I believe $2.65 million in property taxes paid in October is a healthy figure, if I'm not mistaken, as real estate values continue to increase. So I hope that maintains a trend. Also want to give some compliments to Allison Consular, who continues to get better and better at her job as our occupational tax administrator, and making sure that there's equitable and fair application of that law, and appreciate her being aggressive in that. One thing I always tell her is the occupational tax, it's important that we enforce that as closely as possible, because it's a competitive disadvantage when we don't actively pursue businesses coming into our county to work, like contractors, and force them to adhere to the law, just like we do local businesses, which are much easier to track and tend to take care of their obligations quickly and conscientiously. But if we don't apply that as aggressively as possible to our out-of-county businesses, then it's a competitive disadvantage. It is a disadvantage to our local businesses, and I think she does that well. Any other questions about the budget to this point? Any observations? Okay. If there's anybody in the audience who'd like to say anything for good of the county?
All right, early this year, we did a rental on on a road widener machine itself. It was somewhere around $7,500 a month is what our rental price was on that. Okay, we rented for 2 months. Worked out well. The only thing is all hands on deck. That's the only thing that's the majority of what we can do. 65% of what we can do that week or those 2 months is road widening. They offered us a buy price of, somewhere a little over 100,000, throwing out numbers. But the problem with that is now we got a diesel machine that we sit on our lot that we may use 2 weeks out a month, and may go 3 more months we use again. Now we got something we've got to maintain, and it's constant maintenance. We definitely need it. A lot of shoulders needed in this county. It's a lot better than the method that we typically use, which spill a rock out, strike it over with the machine, and then tamp it in. A lot quicker with that machine. In some research I did, I found a company that sells a road widening machine that goes on the front of a skid steer. We have one of those. We have a couple of those actually. This is a machine that strictly works off hydraulics of the machine of our actual skid steer. We don't have to worry about a diesel engine. We got to maintain a couple of grease fittings, a belt maintenance, and that's all we have. A lot less maintenance costs. We could go out for 2 weeks, don't have a lot of shoulders, that we could put it up in the shed for 3 months and not be out anything. Now it's going to be over the 40,000. So I need to ask you all if I can go out for bids to possibly see if we can get other. It might be a that's a hard word to say. Proprietary equipment. Man, that's a hard word to say. You know that.
Proprietary.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but either way, it's I'm a country kid. It's a hard word to say. So, but that may be the only people that sell them. I don't know, but I won't know until I find out. So, if I can get y'all's okay, maybe I go out for bids and try to solicit bids for this machine.
So, quick question. You said we do have the high velocity, high flow skid steers to use them?
Yep. That's what we use for all of our milling edge keys.
Okay, just want to make sure.
We edge all that. We cut everything with it. It's a cab machine. The one that he quoted me was not cabbed. So your winter time, when it's kind of slow on mowing, my mowing guys can't sit out on a uncabbed machine when it's 20 degrees outside. But inside a cab machine, skid steer, they can do it all day and not be a problem. So.
Okay.
It actually frees you up on manpower too, correct?
Yes. This does, because only one person. The machine that we had took 3 people. Except one had to sit on the side and direct the traffic. One had to actually drive it. One had to look at the loading chute. So we do have one of the chutes that we hook to the truck, but that limits to 1 truck only out of our fleet that can run rock, and that's not very advantageous. But if we can get this machine, and that means every truck then can run rock, and we can just dump it back in the machine or run it through a skid steer and move on. So I think it'll definitely be a good machine that we can have, and we don't have to worry about maintenance, very, very low maintenance costs, so we can use it when we want to.
Seems reasonable.
Yes.
And not have to be on a rental contract where every day we're not using it, we're losing money.
What about also the possibility of farming it out or doing work? I don't know how that would do for other counties. Is that possible, or sharing cost, or?
I do not know that. I mean, that could be a possibility if the other counties want to it'd be a shared piece of equipment. Then it'd be a maintenance on who would do the maintenance on if one county gets it, comes back broken. I'm not saying.
That's the best idea. It sounded better money-wise, but nah, not a good idea.
But again, we're not talking about a lot of crazy money from the numbers.
Let's scratch that. Just forget I said that.
But it would definitely be something we can use and utilize a lot better.
I move to give him permission to go out for bids.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Thank you,
Nick. Anything else for good of the county from members of our audience? Hearing none, we'll go around the horn here and start off with Magistrate Starks.
Thank you, Judge, and good morning, Taylor, and congratulations.
Ryan.
I'm sorry. I'm
He
not
just
sure.
saw that I was taking him to lunch at Guy.
That's exactly right. Pardon the misnomer there. But great to have you with us this morning. Have a good lunch with Taylor, and keep up the good work. You're on the right path. You're doing a good job. Your family, I know, is very proud of you, but you're also an example for the rest of the students there at your school. So you're kind of a leader in your own right. So enjoy your day. I just want to hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I wanted to give kudos to Salvation Army and Christian Community Outreach, even Talkaholics here in downtown for feeding folks that might otherwise not have had a Thanksgiving meal, and all the other out there that helped out in that regard. Just wanted to say we do have a lot of things coming up, and I'm sure the rest of the court will be mentioning this, but just Christmas parade weekend's coming up, and look forward to be with you folks for the first time. So I'm about to lose my rookie status, but that'll be one of the last firsts, I think, being able to be on the back of the, sorry.
You know that means you have to dress up as Santa.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. It does. It's a tradition. You ought to do.
I'm all for that. I've almost got the beard. I did notice that, and I'm sorry, Renesa's under the weather, and I hope people that aren't feeling well get well much very soon. But I do note that she put on her Facebook page earlier today the fact that the clerk's office is going to be closed for several days in early January because of a change in the state software program. And hopefully she can be here at the next meeting, tell us a little bit more about how that's going to work. But now would be the time, if you've got a vehicle that needs to be licensed and that type of thing, boat even, I think they're hoping to get a lot of that done in this coming month of December as much as possible. And that way you won't have to wait extra long to get that done after the first of the year. And with that, I'll turn it back over to the judge.
Thank you, Magistrate Barry.
Bill usually covers all of my speech, and that was a good job, Bill. Like that. Congratulations, Ryan. I want to tell you that again. And I always use this. Are you ready for the test? What test? No, I'm teasing. Maybe Magistrate Tompkins will give you one at lunch, but I doubt it. He's going to eat. And you eat well because he'll feed you well. Okay? Glad you're here. You did well, parents. We're glad to have him and have you guys here too. You know, one time, Judge, I want to thank every employee of Henderson County, from you down to the guy that uses a shovel at the road department. It does not matter. If they work for Henderson County, I want to congratulate them. Well, I think we have a good crew. I think we don't do near enough of that. So jailer, sheriff, Bruce, everybody back there that has any employees, any elected official, and every employee, thank you, and have a great holiday. Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Gold?
Speaking of stealing thunder, you kind of stole my thunder there. You know, as part of Thanksgiving, you know, there's a whole lot of things that we're all thankful for, but it's always something to me to look at the way Henderson County government runs and the team that we have and how well it goes, and that's something that I'm very thankful for, to be a part of this team. Like you said, it takes everybody rowing in the same direction to get things done, and it's amazing what can happen when everybody is on the same team and working together, and it's great to be part of a team like that is Henderson County government, and that's why a lot of good things are happening in Henderson County. So very, very proud and thankful to be part of that team. And Ryan, man, you're the sharpest dressed judge and scholar we've had in a long time, man. I like that suit. You're looking good. You're looking sharp. It is your day. Everybody needs to know it's your day. No other student in Henderson County, no other person in Henderson County has had today declared to be their day. So that is a huge deal, and you deserve it because of all you've done at your school. You've been a leader at your school, and you've been recognized by your principal, and I know that's something that your family is very proud of and should be very proud of, because you're an impressive young man. And I just hope you when you go on to North, you just take everything to the next level and then keep going and keep achieving, because I've enjoyed sitting here next to you and talking to you about what's going on. I'm very, very proud of what you're doing. Also, Judge, I'd like to mention that now's the time of year that people have received their tax bills, and they're also thinking about Christmas, and sometimes those county tax bills can be a little daunting depending on the situations people are going in. As we approach that due date at the end of this month, one thing that I want to remind people about is, although there's not an official payment plan as far as setting aside money to pay those county taxes, somebody can set up a payment plan with the county attorney's office. Kyle Evans in our office runs that program that does tax agreements. And the important thing about that is it doesn't stop any of the penalties or interest if you're late, but what it does is it keeps the tax bill from being able to be purchased by a third-party purchaser that adds a bunch of extra fees and things like that on there and could potentially file foreclosure, and a lot of them do. So now is a good time as we start approaching the new year to consider calling our office and setting up a payment plan on those delinquent taxes. If you have any that are currently delinquent, or if you know that you're going to be delinquent on the 2023s, now is a good time to do that. And that number is 270-631-0000. And First Assistant County Attorney Kyle Evans runs that program.
Judge, I'm saying one thing down south where I visit, energy note, you can pay, they do quarterly property tax. I don't know if that's ever, that's probably a state thing here, but just to say that they do quarterly, which makes it a lot easier for people.
That's a statewide thing, and the Department of Revenue won't let you do that, won't let the clerk's office do that, but we do have people set up on monthly and quarterly through our office, and it goes into our escrow account until there's enough in there to pay it. So it's not one of those things like you get a quarterly bill, but we do set things like that up, and we're happy to.
Thank you, Steve. Mesh Putman?
Thank you, Judge. Ryan, what can I say? These guys have said it all, really. I mean, obviously, you're a brilliant young man. And to echo Mr. Gold, you are pretty spiffy on that dress. I like the shoes, too. But anyway, congratulations. Enjoy your lunch. I know the family's extremely proud of you. And just, Judge, all is good and forth. Thank you.
Asher Tompkins?
Yeah. Firstly, I'd like to echo everybody's comments about being thankful to having the opportunity to do what we do every day. You know, people put a lot of trust in us, and I'm thankful to be part of such a good group of hardworking, intelligent, kind people who try to do the right things for the right reasons. So I'm thankful for that for sure. But on to the star of the day. Man, I can tell you, I'm looking forward to talking more with you, Ryan, because just in our brief conversation, obviously the intelligence is there. There's no doubt about it. You definitely know how to dress. I love your style. But, you know, what stood out to me was you seem to be very respectful and kind. And, you know, the hard work goes along with the intelligence, things like that. But being respectful and kind is a choice, and that will take you very far in life. Continue to do that thing as well as your hard work into your academics, and you'll do quite well. So I'm looking forward to taking you to lunch today. Everything seems to be good in a second, Judge. Thanks.
Thank you. And Master Southern?
Congratulations again, Ryan. It's pretty special to get picked from your whole school to represent. That's says a lot about you. It says a lot. Your school members think a lot of you. I mean, that's pretty neat. Congratulations. I know you're proud. All's good in District 3.
Thank you. And Ryan, congratulations. Do you know where you're going to go eat yet? Golden Corral. Good deal.
All right.
There's nothing like Golden Corral. Awesome. And no better time to pick it than when somebody else is paying. So, good job. And you let him have as many desserts off that dessert bar as possible.
No arguments here.
Yeah. Bill mentioned the Christmas parade. That is this Saturday. I'm going to get confirmation about the time that we have to be there to get our trailer, Keith Berry's trailer, in line. So any of you that can join us and ride along together and say hi to everybody, watching the Christmas parade. It'd be great. One of the things we've always kind of liked that people say about Fiscal Court being in the Christmas parade is that we all ride together in one trailer, not separate cars like other entities tend to. You know, we're all together in one spot. So I think it's a symbol of our unity and teamwork. So if you can, please join us. And once you get going, it doesn't take very long to get through the parade. So, it's always a fun time. And I know the rules are typically no candy, but we flout those rules all the time, as does everybody else. It's only fun when the kids are chasing candy around. I want to say thank you to my team. We were throwing out a lot of thank yous, and I was thinking about this even before we complimented our county team. The last couple of weeks have been a very busy time for my team in the judge's office with the CAECO conference, the short week for Thanksgiving, and some other challenges that come up just like every other time of the year. We were able to handle our business, make sure we, for instance, get everybody paid on time, handle things up here on the third floor, even as a good number of us were out for the CAECO conference. So Kurt Wiesen, Brenda, Allison, Angela Comer, Shirley Pruitt, and Brent Jacobs and James Bosler. Teresa. I forgot Teresa. Teresa Childers. They did yeoman's work to get us ready to be able to go to CAECO and then get through Thanksgiving week. It sounds like a small thing, but it's really not. They have a lot on their plate every week, so thank you to them. I'm a lucky guy. CAECO conference was good. I really appreciate the Fiscal Court being there, and we learned a lot. There's a lot happening as we head into a budget session in the legislature, and I think we heard a lot of things that give us both hope and frustration, and we're going to keep track of those things as the General Assembly session moves on. But I do think that's a great conference to attend, and a lot of the connections made there are important. And a lot of the information from the stage was good this year, even if it was a little concerning. So thanks for going. Big kudos to Brent Jacobs for completely rewiring and adding new technology to this courtroom. It needed it. Many of the pieces of equipment that we've been using all this time are more than a decade old. There's Teresa Childers, who I'm just paying you a compliment. Brent saved the court a lot of money by doing the install himself, ordering the parts and then doing the install himself. He's the kind of guy that wouldn't want anybody else to do it anyway, and he's a great DIYer. He is never more happy than he's rigging up cables and consoles and screens. But if you notice, among the additions are new monitors, a new projector, a couple of different new mics, new controls in the back. One of the reasons that Brent was really interested in making this change now, long overdue, is because of the technical difficulties we're into on election night, being able to scroll effectively both online and on this screen the election results. So hopefully these fixes will make that much easier. I think people expect those results on county website, and we will make sure now that we get that done next year. So thank you very much, Brent. And quickly, another item, if you know, whenever we have work sessions or our retreat, we have to gerrymander these mics over onto this long table, and I believe we fixed that situation. So you're not jumping over mic cables as you're trying to sit in your seat and record that session. So just a lot of things were done in this room. And looking at it, you may not realize it, but they had a lot of these ceiling tiles down last week and the week before getting it done. Thank you, Brent.
Well, one thing I'd like to say thank you is flipping the screen from the white background to the dark. I don't know about you, but for me, it's a lot easier to read, and and to understand. So thank you for that, because these weak eyes need all the help they can get.
It's the little things, right? So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion and a second. If you look at your monitor, you see how sharp that camera is, so
Resolution's excellent.
make sure you shave and look sharp, and
Yep.
Ryan, you can tell he's the sharpest dressed among us, I think, this morning, so. All those in favor of the motion can leave.